freaking just like absolutely smeared my car on a friend's car. Apologized immediately, but super dumb on my part because I should just like took it slow and just like not risked that, because that was like a really tight space. Almost like imagine like you're parallel parking and you're like going back, and then you're like, I think I have enough clearance to just clear it and just not have to pull forward and do all that. But I was wrong and I completely smeared my car. Probably going to be like a $500-$800 fix. Not that much. Whatever, lesson learned. But other than that, I am late to the gym, like obnoxiously late. I'm like 10-15 minutes off schedule for my gym session. But we are here. We have made it. I'm not dead. Life is still good. We're still grinding. It is a beautiful Tuesday. Yesterday was Memorial Day. I didn't have really any productive work. I had to push back my meetings today. There was like a huge thunderstorm that went over Houston and power went out for like a second. So I was like, I'm not going to risk my meetings. I'm just going to cancel all of them and just focus on my tasks. And guys, don't think I'm any sort of superhuman. There's nothing superhuman about what I do. A lot of times, like I'll have these like sprints of like good idea, surging with creativity. Like I have clarity on everything I do, like all that. And then there's days where I just have no idea what the fuck to do. Even though I know for a fact that I have a shit ton on my plate. And sometimes I'll just have no idea, no clarity. And it's usually due to just poor planning. So that's where I'm kind of just trying to get better at now is better planning. So because when you kind of do just impulsively do tasks, you start doing shit that doesn't really move the needle, or you do shit that isn't really well thought out, and it actually pushes you back even farther because you start doing things on the and you step off on the wrong foot and you go down like 3 steps down the fucking wrong path, and you're like, oh shit, like, okay, I have to take this other trail. It's like, imagine you were going on a running trail. There's like a purple trail, there's a blue trail, yellow trail, red trail. And you end up, just because you want to get distance, you end up going on like the purple trail and also the yellow trail when all you needed to do was go down the fucking red trail and you would have been at your destination already. But what happens is people think that they just kind of need to do. But what happens is that you actually end up going down the wrong paths, and you actually create a lot more work than needed, because like again with the running trail analogy, it's like you could go down the wrong path and that could be a dead end, meaning you have to go all the way back to your starting point. So the work it took you to go there, now you have to do the same amount of work, if not more work, to go back. Because imagine like you went down the purple trail and you had to jump off like a big ass cliff to get down to the purple trail. Now you have to figure out how the fuck am I gonna get back up there, to go back to where I just started, to just go back to the start line. I have to go through all this bullshit and go through and climb up this cliff that was just a huge mistake. And that's exactly what it is. It's making sure that you're strategically, especially when you're at higher levels, that you're strategically making sure that you're making the right moves. Really, any decision you make, you gotta make sure that they're very well thought out and that they're strategic. And when I say strategic, is that you're thinking not only short term, but midterm and long term. And I talked about this in another video. We need to make sure that you're thinking from essentially all perspectives, and you're thinking, what if I make this decision? What does this affect? What does this affect long term? Who are the parties involved in this decision? And how will I benefit from the outcome of this decision? Will I benefit? Who will benefit? And like all these things, and doing a proper analysis on what the decision should be. I know I kind of just said a lot of fluff. Of course, this freaking dude is, but that is essentially just making sure that you're not just doing stuff just to like quote unquote move the needle. I get moving the needle, but a lot of shit we do doesn't actually move the needle. So, and when you do all the tasks that move the needle, that's when you see like tremendous amounts of growth is because the people who just only focus on things that do move the needle have tremendous amount of growth, because like I said earlier in the analogy, like they go down the right path fast as fuck. So no wonder why they get to the success milestone, 6 times faster than you, or like twice as fast as you, because they just spent an extra day or two figuring out, okay, is this the right decision? Blah blah blah. And it's not. And don't confuse this with like overthinking or analysis paralysis. It's strategically thinking about your next move and really making sure that you're spending your time really wisely. And I get that there's seasons of like, okay, brute force, right? And that's just, I would say, in the early stages of company, and maybe some other parts of the company. But overall, you should be pretty. I'll say you should be pretty. Like what I'm saying is not overthinking or analysis paralysis. It's strategically thinking about your next move and committing to the execution of it. Because what great planning is nothing without great execution. But with great execution, with poor planning, you can get somewhere. But that strategy is prone to a lot of mistakes. So if you have great planning, great execution, and all that, then you're going to be successful very quickly. And that's essentially the formula for being successful: being a great planner and being a great executioner. And if I had to pick one or the other, I would say executioner. But they're both just as important. I would say they're both really, really fucking important. So yeah. And this freaking scratch on the side of my car is kind of pissing me off. I like hate when shit is like this. So I just like notified my assistant immediately to just get it repaired at a shop or whatever. I've had like tire rim repairs done. That was like $700. The checkup was like 700 something bucks. The maintenance on this is actually pretty expensive, not gonna lie. But definitely not as expensive as the other cars. But I'm gonna get that repaired because I just don't like having stuff that's broken or just doesn't look nice. So that kind of sucks, but it's whatever. That's why I make money, is to be able to do things like this. So yeah, I'm going to the gym, and I'm going to rip apart my back and biceps. Hopefully I can overload or progressively overload a little bit more today on the back part. I'm always trying to get my back a little bigger. I feel like that kind of sets the frame for your entire build is your back. So just doing a lot of pull-ups, but more than pull-ups, I do like lawnmowers essentially. Like you're pulling to start. It's almost like the motion is like you're pulling to start a lawnmower. So that's what I'm headed to do now. And yeah, so I'll see you guys on the next video. Bye.